So they went and did it. They're banning gas and diesel cars and trucks in Canada, but they made one giant concession and they're not even admitting to it. Now, before we get into this, if you haven't checked out the Facebook page, if you're a Facebook user, link is in the description down below. It's a new thing. I haven't been on I'm not a boomer, so I haven't been using Facebook all these years. I got a page over there. Go check it out. Link in the description. Anyway, I put this out on Twitter. Always assume that a government program is named exactly the opposite of what it's going to do. It never fails. And here we have Canada's new electric vehicle availability standard. It sets course for new vehicle sales to be electric or plug-in hybrid by 2035. Yeah, that's right. They're saying now plug-in hybrids. This wasn't on the menu before because they were saying zero emissions. Guess what? There is no such thing as a zero emissions plug-in hybrid. If you have an ICE or an internal combustion engine on a vehicle, it is no longer zero emissions. It's, you know, your Prius. There are modern, more modern versions of that, and we'll get into that because I think to be honest, I don't think we should be forcing this on people, but hybrids are the future. Hybrids are a better way a more efficient way of using an internal combustion engine, and for a lot of applications, electric just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I mean, diesel electric locomotives have been working for a long time, and that's a thing, but I think this should still be left up to the free market. And exactly what it says, Canada's new electric vehicle availability standard is going to really just make it more and more expensive for people to afford automobiles. Even Marty Up North put this out on Twitter. If you own a conventional car dealership in Canada, you've just been dealt a death blow. No other country in the world is forcing its citizens to buy EVs, so manufacturers will simply continue to make gasoline and diesel vehicles and move away from Canadian markets. Buying a vehicle is about to get extremely expensive. Not only that, the used market, because they're not going to be taking away your old vehicles yet. They haven't put in implementation for that just yet. So it's going to drive up the price of used vehicles. In fact, if you're if they don't get rid of this law, it might be a time to invest in a used vehicle or a fleet of used vehicles, because you might be able to sell them in the future at a giant markup if this goes forward. Now, Stephen Guilbeault gave his announcement here, and I'll just play this here.
Today, we're announcing the next step in this plan, the electric vehicle availability standard that drives Canada towards all new light-duty vehicle sales in Canada to be electric or plug-in hybrid by 2035. This includes the interim goals along the way, beginning with 20% of all new vehicle sales be EVs by 2026. The standard tackles one of the main barriers to people buying EVs, the limited availability and long wait time.
Oh, you forgot the other one, the unaffordability of it. Yeah, that's right. Vehicles are very expensive, these electric vehicles. People can't all get into them, and the unreliability of them in the cold. That's right. So there's a lot of people in cold parts of Canada that just cannot cope with it.
We will do this by ensuring more electric cars come to the Canadian market instead of the US or other markets that have similar targets.
By decree. You know, this is a funny thing. They're gonna put on a cap and trade system for these companies. All it would take is Biden to pull the same thing, and it'll pull all those electric cars out of our market. Because, I mean, here's the thing. People want these electric cars. It's no joke. There's a shortage of availability of electric cars already. Without this artificial boom in the market, people can't get their hands on them. So because of this, more people, I mean, the cost is driven up, and this is exactly what's going on. Now, he just keeps going on about this. It's a gift that keeps on giving, this guy.
When was the last time you paid only $10 to drive 400 kilometers? That's the advantage of choosing a zero-emission vehicle.
Well, we're going to change that by driving up the cost of electricity with the Just Transition Plan. That's right. We're going to make electricity more expensive for the average Canadian. So even heating your house, the prices will be driven up because of this EV thing. We just don't have the infrastructure for it. Now, Jordan Peterson got on Twitter to say this is perhaps not only... There is perhaps not another people on Earth more dependent by necessity on reliable and cold-resistant cars and trucks than Canadians. What are we going to do for our long-haul trucks and farm tractors for airplane engines? Well, it turns out that they've exempted all of that. It's light-duty trucks. It's your average Joe. All of us plebs, we have to deal with this. What makes our idiot leaders think we can alter the entire industrial infrastructure of a country in 10 years to force a shift of this magnitude? It takes idiot leaders. It really does. These are the same people that say the budget will balance itself, all of this stuff. And this is where we really are with this. But is it really that they're trying to save the planet, or are they just trying to take control? Here's Pierre Poilievre chiming in on this with Rex Murphy.
Even though it's really about money and control, the carbon tax is not about the environment, it's about raising money for him to spend. And most of his so-called environmental policies are really about taking control over people's economic lives. And both have been to great detriment. They've cost jobs, they've chewed up family budgets, they have contributed to inflation. And my common sense plan is to do exactly the opposite of what he's done. My view is that we need to green light more green projects. Let's speed up mining approvals. Let's accelerate nuclear energy production. Let's allow Quebec to build its hydroelectric dams with one approval rather than two, and gumming it up in bureaucracy. In other words, let's have an abundance of energy rather than a poverty of energy that we see now.
I'll leave a link in the description for this whole video. You can check it out for yourself, but that's exactly where we're going. Less energy, more expensive energy. Thank you very much, liberals. CTV News reporting, EVs could make up 100% of new vehicle sales in Canada by 2035 under this federal plan. 100% of a lot less cars. I mean, I don't know how to stress this enough. If you're mandated to sell only electric cars in Canada, there's going to be a massive shortage. Just straight up, gas-powered cars and trucks to be phased out by 2035, federal government says. But the major concession is plug-in hybrids, or EVs with gas or diesel engines in them. And this is good news for companies like Edison Motors, that's even making a conversion kit for old trucks, which I think is actually really good technology. And this is Chase getting into it here.
So Edison Motors built the world's first diesel electric semi-truck, and you guys have been asking, when can I get a pickup version? Well, I'm pleased to announce that we're going to be doing a pickup version done the same way as our semi-truck, available for a pickup. We've had a lot of success.
Oh, and here comes the copywritten music. Sorry, I can't share any more of this clip, but I'll leave a link in the description down below for it. Edison Motors right out of British Columbia here, doing a great job. If I ever get a chance to have Chase on the channel, that would be great, because I'd love to talk about the efficiency of it. This is the way of the future. I do believe that this is the way of the future, but I think the market should decide this, not the government. And in fact, there is a lot of cost that comes to just getting an EV. Beware of the costs and logistics of at-home chargers before buying an electric car, says CTV News. I don't have to get into the article. I can leave a link in the description down below. You can read it in your own time. But this is the thing. And without your own charger, people are going to be really out in the cold. Here are people in Burbank, California, maybe not out in the cold, but they're stranded as they're waiting for electric chargers at 11:15 at night.
So you want to charge your car, huh? Well, don't come here. You'll be here till 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's just the cars that are getting charged. And this is the line of the cars wanting to get charged. And this is the great hoax to get rid of gasoline so that you can go sit in a line and plug your car in. This isn't a joke. This is the real thing. It's 11:15 at night, and these are the people who probably, I guess, can't get home. And they're just sitting in their cars, and they're just waiting and waiting and
and waiting and waiting. But this is the reality of the situation. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't have any faith in electric cars and electric vehicles. I think they're great. I think the new implementation of 3-phase electric brushless motors in cars is fantastic. They're torquey. They have lots of power. I'm a believer in them. I like them. But I think that, you know, this is something that people should be able to decide on their own whether they get these vehicles. Now, that being said, I do think that there's a great chance for hybrids in this field, and a lot of manufacturers haven't been doing that. Some of the hybrids that you hear about on in the industry are market wank. They're not actually hybrids. When referred to a plug-in electric hybrid, you're talking about a car that is an electric car that has a gas or diesel generator on board to charge up the electric car, not the other way around. Anyway, there's too much marketing wank to get into in this video, but if you want to see more of that, hopefully I'm going to put another email out to Chase from Edison Motors. Hopefully we can get him on the show, because I'd love to talk at length about this, perhaps on a Friday night podcast. If you know him, send him my way. I'll email him, and hopefully we can make that happen. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this whole thing, and of course, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.